This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm Jody Miller-Young, your host. For the next few weeks, I'm going to be highlighting brands working with me on a special month-long fundraising event for a wonderful no-kill shelter here in Fort Lauderdale called Abandoned Pet Rescue. The event is called Shop Christmas in July, and the kickoff Zoom party, where you can meet all of the participating brands and get tips to help solve the most common pet issues, takes place July 1st between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Each brand is going to donate a percentage of sales all month to APR to help them take care of the dogs and cats in their care. So that's really, really awesome. And stay tuned for more information where you can join the party. APR has been around a long time, 23 years. They've offered a safe place for thousands of dogs and cats. And, you know, it's just a great thing that the brands are doing to help them because they're only funded by people like me and you. So this special event leads me perfectly into today's guest. Statistics tell us approximately 6.5 million pets enter U.S. animal shelters and only 10.9% are returned to their owners. Now that's through the ASPCA stats. That is crazy. Even pet owners who have equipped their pet with a microchip or an ID tag or both, they can't guarantee that their pet won't be one of 3 pets that go missing during their lifetime. Where do some of these animals end up? In unimaginable places sometimes, from research labs to puppy mills, from dogfighting rings to ritual sacrifices for satanic cults. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, she's over the top, but this is very scary stuff and it happens. Now, PetHub was created to give pet parents the tools they need to get lost pets home faster. And it's very quick, and you're going to hear all about that. So today we're going to be talking to PetHub COO Lorian Clemens, and we're going to find out what they do, why they do it better than pretty much everyone else, and how they can help you. So we're going to take a very quick break from our sponsor, grab that favorite beverage, get comfortable, and we'll be right back.
Pork Chop, his coat is very thick. He's an Akita, German Shepherd, Lab, Husky mix. Harold, the Border Collie Pit mix, has the most beautiful jet black coat. Stuart, my rat terrier, has fur now where he never had it before.
DINOVITE.com.
Dinovite will give them a beautiful, lustrous coat. It will make you smile.
You get some Dinovite, how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, you're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and I'm Jody Miller-Young. You're about to meet Lorian Clemens, COO of PetHub, a brand that gives pet parents the tools they need to get lost pets home faster, something we all want. July is Lost Pet Prevention Month, and Lorian is here to tell us about PetHub and how they can help us. Hey, Lorian.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fabulously well. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Really excited to chat.
I am so excited to have you here. Adore you and adore the brand and want to turn as many people onto it as possible. Now, it's Lost Pet Prevention Month in July. Yep. And I can't tell you personally how many lost and found dog and cat alerts I get every single day. We, as pet parents, need to keep improving how we protect our pets. So tell us what Lost Pet Prevention Month is about this year and how it originated.
Sure, I'd love to. So Lost Pet Prevention Month began back in 2014. Here at PetHub, we realized that a lot of the conversations that were happening around lost pets were mostly centered around microchips, which are really incredible things, and every pet needs to have a microchip. But we realized the conversation wasn't really deep enough to talk about all the aspects that are important for keeping pets safe at home. Not just about, how they're going to get home, what tool is going to be used to get them home, but how to prevent them from getting lost in the first place. And then beyond that, giving pet parents deeper tools and understanding in what it takes to get a lost pet home. Because you mentioned some statistics earlier, and I'll mention a couple more that they're pretty daunting. According to Shelter Animals Count, 17.4% of lost dogs and just under 3% of lost cats that are in shelters generally get home. And most of those that are able to get home are frankly because of microchips and external ID tags. And so there's a lot of things that can be done by the pet parent, strategies, if you will, to prevent their pet. And a lot of it comes down to the basics. So this year's
tell us about those
theme
strategies.
is the basics.
Yeah.
So the core basics that we like to think of it as a stool. If you think, you wouldn't ever go sit on a chair that had one leg or two legs. You would want to sit on a stool or a chair that had at least three legs, because that way you'll have some stability and the best chance of not falling over. So we like to say when you're thinking about lost pet prevention, think about the stool. So, and it all is around pet identification. So number one, leg on the stool that you need to have, we've already been mentioning it, microchips. They're the best safety nets. Every pet needs to have one. But the key is not that just they have one, but it's registered and it's up to date.
Yes.
Yeah. The microchip industry is going to tell you that as much as 50% of the microchips that are out there in pets are either never registered or out of date. And 50%. So you must, as a pet parent, you must take it upon yourself to make sure that's registered. And then we recommend every 6 months, just check and make sure that everything's up to date. So that's the number one stool. The number two stool is an external ID tag, and that's where PetHub comes in. We would highly recommend that folks move away from traditional standard ID tags, which have one or two pieces of information and the pet's name on there. We recommend that you move to a digital ID tag, like a PetHub ID tag. Basically, what makes a pet tag digital means it is connected to an online profile for the pet where you can update it as many times as you need to. If you go on vacation, you can just change the phone number. That's the primary phone number. Preferably, you'll have a tag like PetHub that allows you to have unlimited data. There are some tags out there that restrict how much data you can have. But our tag, for example, you can have as many family members as you want connected to the pet's ID tag, and you can update it anywhere. You're getting ready to fly out of the country to go on vacation. No problem. Literally at the airport, you can update the tag to have the pet sitter's information. So that's the number two.
Is it a QR code type of thing that links to the profile? Okay, great.
Our digital tag links with a QR code. It also links with a human readable website address, and it also has a 24/7 call center phone number attached to it that all link to the same pet profile. Other digital tags might have just a phone number that you call where you can't access it through your phone, but others also might have a web address or things like that. But ours has all three: QR, web address, and a phone number that are all on there that link to the same online profile.
Perfect.
So that third leg, and this is the leg that a lot of people miss most often, but it is really critical. The third leg is a local registration tag. Now, in some places, that's going to be literally a pet license or your pet's rabies tag. And the reason that's important is that because it creates an external record that pet belongs to you. So it's something that literally your local shelter, your local city government, your local county government, or your veterinarian, or potentially all four, all have access to that record that you are the owner of this pet. And it can really be critical in situations, in theft situations, or in situations where, somebody picked up a lost pet and says, oh, I'm just going to keep them. Having that pet registered locally through a pet license, preferably, is going to help you be able to get your pet back. So we recommend those three legs. There is another leg, though, that can be there that is highly recommended, but it's not always easy to do. There are a lot of other identification points that you can have for your pet. You can have a phone number on your pet's collar. You can have a tag on the travel crate or on whatever means you put it in your car that has their information on there. Some people even go as far as to do tattooing on their pet. To have that one more piece of information can only help.
Exactly. That's very comprehensive. Now, Lorian, you and I have known each other for a few years. And back when we met around when I was doing my Bark and Swagger blog, and at that time is when I first fell in love with PetHub in the early days, and I was covering them a lot. And you guys then were on the cutting edge of tech, being the first to utilize a QR code on a pet ID tag. Tell us, in addition to what you just went through, what a PetHub tag and plan offers pet parents today, because there's more.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. It's more than just a tag. That we actually talk about this a lot. It is more than just a tag to have a PetHub ID. So first and foremost, we have a free basic profile where you can put unlimited emergency contacts for your family and neighbors and things like that. You can update those at any time. That's critical. Also, part of the free profile, you can have all of your pet's vaccination information there on the profile, which is really important, particularly if they get picked up by an animal control officer. It says right there, hey, I've got a valid rabies vaccination or Bordetella or any other things that might be locally required before you can go into a shelter or an animal daycare kind of thing. But beyond that, we have a lot of resources and tools for lost pet recovery. So one of the things that we offer, and it's part of our premium plan, which costs a couple of dollars a month, and it's a totally optional plan, we have something, it's a little bit like Amber Alert for Pets. It's our community and shelter alert system. We will send out in a 50-mile radius a virtual lost pet poster with all the pertinent information to say, hey, this pet's missing. And because it's a virtual lost pet poster, as you get more information and updates about the pet, maybe the pet's been sighted at a different location, or you realize, oh, nope, they're wearing their blue collar, not their red collar. You can go and update that information and it will stay current. And then you can take that virtual lost pet poster and share it out to social media, send it via email to neighbors, whatever makes sense. Or you can print it out and put it around the neighborhood because it prints out as a standard lost pet poster. So that's one of our systems that's really valuable to pet parents if they do have a missing pet situation. We also have a really cool system when our tag is accessed, either through the call center or scanned or accessed through the website. We will send a notification that this pet has been found to everybody that's on the safety circle list. And if you've got our premium services, we will also be grabbing GPS information from that smartphone that scanned them to tell you where they were found. It has been so critical in helping people quickly get their pets back home to be able to have that information of, that's where they are. I mean, sometimes dogs especially, can go miles away, and coordinating getting them home can be really hard to do sometimes. So that GPS locator is really an important thing. We have other, resources that we offer, but one of the other fun new things that we have here at PetHub, which is really great, has actually nothing to do with lost pet recovery. It has to do with our other mission, which is to help make your life easier as a pet parent and to help you get the most cutting-edge, modern ways to help care for your pet. And that's our PetHub Perks. It's discounts and deals and offers that you get exclusively as a pet parent. And we have nearly $1,000, for example, this month in deals and offers that if you're a PetHub Premium member, you have access to. So PetHub Perks is a brand new thing that we're doing, and it's growing exponentially every month. I think the stuff that we have in July is going to almost double what we have available this month. So it's a really fun platform for you to be able to learn about new products.
We love that. Who doesn't love to get some perks around a product that's great? You are really more like a 360 partner for pet parents when it comes to keeping them safe, which is very, very cool. I'm sure after several years now, you've got some stories about how PetHub has helped an animal get home safely and quickly. And I think that you should mention, Laura, that, you have a great track record. PetHub has a great track record of getting pets home fast. Tell people just how fast.
Yeah, so we have, we're very proud of this statistic. Well, since 2012, when we started tracking these things, 96% of PetHub recovered pets get home in 24 hours or less. Most are actually home, like 25% or more are home in less than 4 hours, and less than 2% ever hit a shelter door. And that's hugely important that they never enter the shelter. And, we've been doing this for 10 years, and just recently when we actually now work with a lot of municipalities in over 470 communities across the United States to help with their license and their rabies tags. That statistic of getting pets home quickly has held because our system is so solid and works so well. We're over 500,000 pets on the site now that we're protecting. And It's really exciting that we're able to help all these pets get home so quickly.
Absolutely. So, Lorian, you have some stories about how PetHub has helped pets get home safely. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, We're going to hear some of those really wonderful stories that are going to make you smile and give you hope that happy endings do happen and that PetHub can help. So go refresh that beverage, get comfortable, and we'll be right back.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm Jody Miller Young, your host, and we're here today with Lorian Clemens, COO of PetHub, the solution, the 360 solution to help give pet parents tools to get their pets home quickly and safely when they are lost. So, Lorian, stories, happy stories, favorites over the years about how PetHub has helped pet parents recover their lost babies. Tell us.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this is probably one of the greatest joys of what I do at PetHub and all of our staff, actually. When we have found pet alerts come through, everybody is CC'd. So we get to see these all the time. And I literally take a couple of hours a week just to go and look at them. So they're so much fun. But a couple stand out to me. I'll tell you, the first one that stands out to me is our very first pet that we got home. Our team was back in Seattle, and we were actually on vacation in Brazil. This is back in 2012. And we got notification from our team back in Seattle. They were just out of their mind excited because the very first dog ever had gotten home with a PetHub tag. And it was a dog named Bella who lived in Memphis, but ended up being like 3 towns away because she hitchhiked in the back of a delivery truck.
Oh, my God.
Along the way, she picked up a friend, and it was unclear to us whether the friend was actually in the delivery truck and belonged to the delivery guy, or if she picked up that friend. But that was our very first pet. We got him home. It was Christmas Eve, 2011, and we were in Brazil at the time when we heard about it. So that was a great celebration. But I wanted to talk about a couple of stories that kind of, to me, underscored the power of PetHub. One that I remember back in the olden days when we would have call escalations would come directly to us if we went through our call center, and then they would come directly to us. So I actually had one call that came to me early in the morning, and our call center said, this guy keeps hanging up the phone on us. He thinks that we're spoofing him on his finding his pet. So I called the fellow and I talked to him, and he was convinced that we were somebody harassing him. And he's like, my dog is in my backyard. His dog is named Tank. And my dog's in my backyard. Leave me alone. And I kept saying, please just go and verify it, because we have a woman at this address who says that she's found a dog with your pet's tag on it. And he went back in the backyard, started screaming for the dog, and then he came back and he goes, he's not back there. He's not back there. Oh, and so I connected him with the woman, and I got to listen to he and the woman, chatting and everything. And afterwards, he was so out of his mind, happy. He had no idea that Tank had even jumped the fence. No idea that Tank could even jump the fence. And it turned out that Tank did it all the time. Would jump the fence, take a walkabout, come back, jump back in. He had no idea. And it was the PetHub tag that actually alerted him to that problem.
Oh my God. Check on your babies. Don't leave them unsupervised. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other one that really sticks out in my mind is this is why PetHub is so powerful. We had a woman a couple of years ago who left the country to go to Spain on vacation, she and her family. And the dog was staying with the mother-in-law who lived nearby. And so she didn't realize until she was at the airport, oh my gosh, I forgot to update the PetHub account. So she, at the airport, put her mother-in-law's contact information at the top of the contact list, got on the plane, flew to Spain. Little did she know, in the 12-something hours that she had been on the airplane, the dog had gotten out, been found by somebody, called into our call center. The mother-in-law had been called. They had used the GPS mapping to arrange pickup because the dog was quite far away, and the dog was now safe at home. So when she landed in Spain and checked into her hotel and checked in the Wi-Fi to all of her voicemail and text messages, she saw a slew of text messages, voicemails, and emails. And the last one was pet home safe kind of a thing. And it all happened while she was on an airplane, and it never would have been able to happen had she not been able to update that tag at the airport.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. So over the last couple of years, PetHub has strengthened its ties into communities. You mentioned that earlier with the 400 and some odd shelters, was it, around the country? But
communities.
Tell us about PetHub Solutions. PetHub Solutions.
Right. The PetHub Solutions, it's part of PetHub, but it's really our sales branch where we work with animal welfare organizations like shelters, rescues, cities, county, animal care and control, you name it. It really doesn't matter. We work with veterinarians and all sorts of different places to develop an ID tag solution program for them. Maybe it's an adoption tag program. Maybe it's a licensing tag program. Maybe it's a rabies tag program. Maybe it's a program to get into a local dog park. And so we work with them to develop a custom tag program that meets the needs of their community, and then we launch it with them. And we've done it in a way so that it is affordable. You know, we used to have, when we would sell into retail, and we would use the standard, 50% markup, what have you, and all this stuff. And we actually threw all of that out the window. We said, you know what? We need to be able to provide tags at a cost that animal welfare in particular and rescues can afford, so that they can get as many pets protected with our powerful system as possible. So we threw a lot of the things that, from a retail perspective that we had been doing before, we threw those out the window and we said, what can we do to make it so this is affordable for every shelter and rescue and animal control center that wants to use it? And so that's what we did with PetHub Solutions. We adapt the program as needed. And on the other side of the program is something called Shelter Share. We give 10% of our profits that come in from that community back to that community, either to the local shelter. Sometimes our partner in the community is the one who chooses where the money goes. So sometimes it's to the local shelter. Sometimes it's to a spay and neuter clinic. Sometimes it's actually to help pay for the tags themselves so that they no longer have that cost coming out of paying for the tags. And so they just roll over the Shelter Share every year to pay for the tags so that they can get more animals tagged. It's a really powerful program, and it's been very successful for us and the communities that we help.
Wonderful, wonderful. So anyone listening out there who may have a community, town, city you're living in where you feel they don't have an adequate program on that level to help pet parents find lost pets, this is a possible solution. So
I'd love to give you a website for that because it's a separate website.
Tell people where they can find you across the board.
Absolutely. So if you are an animal welfare specialist, you work with a shelter or a rescue locally, or you just want to help your community be aware of this, PetHub.solutions, PetHub.solutions is where you go for that. You can also reach it through our standard website, which is PetHub.com, and there's a link on there that says, "Are you a community looking for ID tags?" You can and that'll take you to the PetHub.solutions site.
Perfect. And what about on social? Where can people find PetHub?
Oh my gosh, we're everywhere. You can find us on Insta or Facebook or Twitter. We even have some great Pinterest boards going out. We're just look for PetHub. Now there are some other places that call themselves PetHub, but you'll recognize us because we have the cute little critters in the teal circle.
Got it. Perfect. Is there anything else that we've left out that you want to share?
Well, I just want to make sure that people are part of the conversation for Lost Pet Prevention Month. We have dozens of brands and companies and rescues and shelters across the country that are part of what we're doing this month as partners for pet prevention. Keep your eye out for it. Keep your eye out for that hashtag LPPM and help share that information because there's a lot of really great information. It's not just about identification. It's about training. It's about Houdini-proofing your yard. It's about safe travel practices. There's a ton of really great education out there that we want to help get the word out so that people can keep their fur babies home and safe. And if they do get lost, they can get them home quickly. So
that's great, Lorian. And listeners, you are going to have an opportunity to personally ask questions about your own situation and how PetHub might help you if you participate in Shop Christmas in July, Zoom party, launch party on July 1st between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested, you want to know more, stay tuned. You'll get some information on the link where you can join the party. Lorian, thank you so much for being with us. This has been such important information as pet parents. You know, we love our babies, and anything we can do, it's horrible enough if for some reason they get lost somehow. But if there's something we can do or things we can do to protect them even more or get them home faster and safer, that means everything. So thank you so much.
You are really welcome, and thank you so much for having us.
Awesome. Thank you all for listening. Thanks to our producer, Mark Winter. Mark, you make us sound so good. We love you for that. My passion is living stylishly and animal rescue. So tune in next time to discover the designers, home decor, styles, and rescue stories I love. Don't forget to visit me at barkandswagger.com, where you'll find great fashion, shelter stories, and more. So until next time, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.